Hi, my name is Marina Scateni. Holistic to your personal practice is a way to accompany you to strengthen or create your own personal practice to fully live your life. In this episode, I will talk about what we mean for daily practice and why it is so important to start now to create your own daily routine. Many people have reached out to me after listening to the first 2 episodes asking how to begin a practice. They feel it's time to wake up or at least to live less asleep. They want to delve deeper, take better care of themselves, and live life fully without constantly overthinking everything. They are looking for a different attitude towards life. A dear friend I hadn't heard from a long time contacted me after listening to the episodes. She thanked me a lot for the podcast, saying that she recognized herself completely in so many points I'd made. And she reminded me of when we were about 20, when I gave her a book as a present called Stop Overthinking. Even then, I was fully aware of how our thoughts can transport us to a past that's already gone or to an invented future created by a restless mind. One that can make up so many scenarios that it feels like writing Oscar-worthy screenplays in minutes. And my friend, Foof, I understood her perfectly because I'd also lost myself in those endless mental monologues. We've often heard people say, change your attitude and life will smile on you. Well, that sounds clear, but how do we actually do it? After years of studying, traveling, meeting people, taking personal development courses, engaging in spiritual practices and into introspection, I found that the daily practice is an anchor, a fixed point where I can recognize myself, where I can return home every time. And then I can start to smile again and give meaning to things and to life in general. I personally start from there, and by making it a routine, I ensure that it lasts over time. I become increasingly able to grasp the meaning of things, savoring more and more the beauty that surrounds me, the small steps I've achieved. My heart then fills with joy. It fills with little things or everyday moments when we feel that well-being that comes from within and connects us to everything. Those brief sparks of enlightenment. Yesterday, I had a client in Shiatsu who told me he was very overwhelmed by events, that he had left his center again, that his body became tense, stiff, and started to hurt. So I talked to him about breathing, meditation, pranayama, conscious movement, and incredibly, he seemed to know all this, all the tools to feel better. He has them at his disposal. He has done a lot of personal work, and yet emotions often take over, and we are so caught up in the whirlwind of events, of emotions, problems, worries, and then more emotions that transform into pain, in a raising of discomfort. And yet, we prefer to postpone using these tools to when we will feel better. How many times I've heard, as soon as I get out of this busy period, or as soon as I finish buying this house, or as soon as I am calmer, I'll start meditation, or I'll start to do this and that, or that work on myself, taking care of myself. Sure, when it's too late then you'll be so stressed that you'll get tachycardia, or you'll be so sunk in sadness that you'll need to resort to medicines probably. And I assure you that I know many people, they fall into that. Most people go on like machines, waiting for better times to change their attitude and live life as it should be lived, with awareness, with full attention in the present, savoring every nuance without shortness of breath, instead being present in every single breath. After listening to him attentively and with all my presence, from the depth of my heart, I told him to prevent. That means not to wait until he feels bad to start or not to start producing change, but to use those tools to avoid reaching that point. Prevention is the key to health. In the past, during Chinese monarchies, the king had a trusted doctor not to cure him, but to prevent him from getting sick. And if he did get sick, he would have him killed. Now, beyond the obviously inhuman act, what I want to focus on is that culture's interest in being well, in preventing, not just in curing illness, a concept on which Western medicine and our own society is still based on. And to prevent stumbling into the whirlwind of life and emotions, as if we were put in a centrifuge to then come out disoriented about our true nature, or worst, with an autoimmune disease or a cancer, I recommend dedicating time each day to tranquility and inner strengthening with meditation, pranayama, gentle or more dynamic yoga according to your needs and possibilities. A practice that is repeated every day as soon as we wake up, to make it as a refuge but also as a springboard to face the day without forgetting who we really are, with a smile and the openness to receive everything that life presents us, with an open heart and a desire to learn, live, and feel. A routine that allows us not to stray too far from that center or to return to it quickly, detaching ourselves from that whirlwind as soon as we realize that we're falling into it. But to do this, we must be as present as possible, and this quality is acquired on the mat, in the sittings, by meditating. What does it mean to meditate? To meditate means to be still, observing our breath and our thoughts when they arrive, and returning each time to the breath, because we also observe thoughts to know ourselves better, but we decide not to let ourselves be carried away by the thoughts. We remain in the present moment, in the breath. On the mat, we learn how to manage thoughts during the day and to return to that silence that gives us peace and serenity. Every time that thoughts arrive while we are meditating, we're going to observe them and they will fade away. New thoughts then will be arriving and we're going to observe them. But who is the one who will always stay? Is the observer. That's why through the meditation you can really understand who you really are. To meditate then is to be present, to breathe and to observe, until we can enter a more advanced state of concentration where only consciousness speaks. It's a matter of practice, of training. Try 10 minutes at the beginning and gradually increase. Then dedicate some of your time to physical practice. I propose yoga. You can choose a simple sequence that you might have learned during your yoga classes or search for it on YouTube. But feel free also to contact me to study together a suitable routine tailored on you. Don't postpone it. How can you postpone even a second of your life? It's a matter of a priority, and your priority is you and your way of living this existence. By practicing, you will understand more and more who you really are and what your priorities are in this existence. I invite you to start today. I hope this episode will inspire you to live your life in plenitude.